Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, neither Edge or Bianca Belair has declared who they will face at the Royal Rumble. Coming up on Break It Down with Brian H. Keeping it 100.
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you're at right now.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The Wrestling Wrealm presents Break It Down with Brian H.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Keeping it 100. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, is brought to you by the Wrestling Wrealm. If you haven't done so, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, check it out. Make sure that you take a look at some of the other videos. You know, I got this cool DX shirt on, courtesy of the Wrestling Wrealm. Shout out to the real Dwayne Allen who put together the design. But there's a cool promo we did on our YouTube page where, you know, we talk to the wrestling fans. Then, of course, there is the all classic NWO spoof that we put together. Folks, WrestleMania season is here. We're on the road to WrestleMania. You know, I got my UK championship right there. As you can see, I got the WrestleMania plates on it. So I'm real excited. That's from last year. I didn't go. So obviously nobody went. Guess what? I watched it at home. Shout out to my brother Corey from the Wrestling Marks of Excellence. Said, man, go ahead and get those plates. I said, you know, I got the belts. I want to get the plates at the manias that I've been to. But nobody went there. So I was like, you know what? Cool. And I might get this year. I might. I don't know yet. We're going to see. But enough about that. Like I said, the plates are on. It's WrestleMania season, folks. And I'm excited. How about you? You should be excited too. The Royal Rumble took place this Sunday, as you know. Bianca Belair winning the Women's Royal Rumble. Edge winning the Men's Royal Rumble. Here was the thing that was so cool about tonight's show. I'm going to start with Bianca Belair because I know WWE started with Edge. So, Bianca comes out there. If you missed Smackdown, Bianca comes out there and she's just grateful. That's what we expected. Now, let me rewind real quick. I made a post on Wrestling Wrealm at Wrestling Wrealm on Twitter. Matter of fact, I'll throw up the ticker there so you'll know exactly where to find it. I made a post. I said, you know what? She won the Royal Rumble and she's in the back with Kayla. Now, that wasn't to spite Kayla, but I wanted her to have, you know, her big grand interest. That's why we got to be patient. I'm putting myself in check. So that's why we got to be patient. Because, you know, when you're patient, that's what happens. So Bianca comes out, you know, she talks with Kayla Braxton and says, you know, we'll see. She lets her know her decision is coming. She don't do things the way everybody else does. And sure enough, she came out there. But then all of a sudden, here comes Reginald. And I'm like, oh boy, here this guy comes. What did he want? Now, he was on some right to censor stuff. You know, when stuff started getting good in the attitude era, here comes right to censor. And boy, oh boy, did Stevie Richards and the crew annoy us. Anytime you hear that music, it's like, oh man, what do he want? Well, that's how it was with Reginald. And Reginald comes out there. And when he came out there, I'm like, oh man, what do you want? What could you possibly want? And sure enough, he told her she couldn't beat Sasha Banks. So I'm thinking, is he trying to get in Bianca's head? Like, what is his place here? And here comes Carmella, and she's talking all this other stuff. Anyway, that didn't matter. I don't even know if she talked, whatever. Fast forward to the main part. Sasha Banks comes out, and she gave credit to Bianca, as was a wrestler would do. She told her, you know, she was the strongest, the fastest, but she isn't the best. And it seemed as if they were going to make a match. But then all of a sudden, Reginald got involved. Bianca had to give him a quick whipping with that hair, and we are still waiting. It's no rush. It's no rush. If we think about all the programming that WWE has, I'm recording this on a Friday night, and it will be uploaded on a Friday night. Chances are, some of you may wait until Saturday or Sunday to watch this after Talking Smack has aired. So it's possible she could have made her announcement there. It's also possible she could make us wait till next week. So with that, I'm like, let's wait and see. You know, but I do like the direction they're going here. At first, I was annoyed. I'm like, man, why is Reginald around? But guess what? That's what it's supposed to be. You know, I did think about this. I said, you got Carmella right there, and you in between, you got Sasha and Bianca. Carmella's ruining a photo op. But then I had to think about it. Guess what? There's plenty of times they're going to have opportunities. They're going to have opportunities for this. So, like I said, you know, sometimes as wrestling fans, we get a little anxious. But I said, you know what? Let me push the brakes. Let me pump the brakes, and we'll see what happens. And I have no problem with that, folks. I have no problem with that at all. We move on to Edge. And what I loved about this, Roman Reigns opening the show, because that's what the head of the table does. He came out there and told everybody, he said, Edge, you're disrespecting me. You're going from this show, you're going that show, you're disrespecting me and my family. And I'm saying, the head of the table doesn't like that. And you saw Roman get really frustrated. So then we fast forward, and Edge reminded him, hey, you not out here, you don't trust being out here by yourself, to the point, you know, he sent Jay Uso, and Paul Heyman away. So I said, okay, now are we going to get a decision? Because I'm vocal. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know this match will be fire, but it's probably the least match that I would like to see. Just keeping it real. It's probably the least match I would like to see. Doesn't mean I don't want to see it. It just means that when you talking about Edge and Drew McIntyre, okay, cool. Because then Edge wins the championship more than likely. Maybe he doesn't. But I would like to see Edge win the championship. Then you see Edge go down to NXT. And you see him talk to Finn Balor. And then there was, I think Kyle O'Reilly was in the ring. I know Pete Dunne was in the ring. Or maybe it was just Pete Dunne. And you think about that possibility. I'm like, wait a minute now. This could get real interesting. Now, I know people are saying, shout out to my brother D from the Flex Zone, saying that, look, Edge is the money. Edge and Reigns is money, and I get it. I just want to see Edge win the championship. But I don't want to see him win the championship to the point he beats Roman Reigns, folks. I don't want to see Roman lose that strap until it's the next big star. But this is the beauty of WrestleMania season. Again, there's more programming because now you're going to tune in to Raw to see if Edge shows up again and has a face-off with Drew McIntyre. If you don't, you're lying. Edge said he's committed. He's there full time. No way he would challenge for a championship and only be there part-time. So this is good. This is going to be good. I'm excited. And I know what y'all say. Oh, you always excited. But no, seriously. I'm excited for this one. This is WrestleMania season. This is the part where I look at things at face value. I don't need to try to predict everything. It's a lot of other stuff going on in the world. No need to get upset. So I'm just sitting here and I'm going to watch. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy it. So that'll be it, folks. As I wrap this up, I wanted to hop on real quick and talk about these two. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so, go ahead, subscribe to the show. Myself and the real Dwayne Allen, we got you covered with wrestling content. Make sure, you go ahead. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if this is your first time watching, hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification. We got videos coming every week. I guarantee it. Yeah, I've said it right there. That means I have to deliver on that promise. And guess what? If anybody will tell you about me, is that Brian H. Waters is consistent. So I know I got to deliver if I'm saying that because it's quite simple. It's WrestleMania season. And that's what it's time for. It's time to bring it and bring it like never before. So that'll do it, folks. Thank you for tuning in as always. Make sure you be nice to people. It's WrestleMania season. No need to argue, folks. Have a good day. Goodbye and good night. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you get notified every time the Wrestling Realm posts new content.